And that appreciation, that feeling of being wanted, even if it's just to fill their belly, is nice to have when you're trapped and alone from your old world.
It looks like it's up to me to save the world, and that is not going to happen.
Well, howdy, Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. It is Saturday, it is very foggy outside, and it is chill. It's finally autumn. I have to wear one of my plaid shirts when I go out for walkies now, and even that sometimes feels a little cold, but I heat up quickly. And while I get cold for the first half of the walk, I have my shirt open and the sleeves rolled up for the walk back. I heat up quickly. But it's been cold and finally autumn-like. There have still been fat garden spiders and webs outside, but I think maybe it's gotten too cold for them, which is sad. I mean, I like spiders. I mean, I always have, but I've been arachnophobic most of my life. Now I'm not. So, cool. Ooh, itchy nose. Then anyway, front loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that too would be very, very awesome. If you could leave me any comment at all, even for the algorithm, that would be double plus good. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful people are literally beautiful and literally awesome as well, helping to keep me and my pets alive, and that is very appreciated. And I've forgotten how long I should keep my hands up in the air. Hopefully I'm not going to keep them up too long, or too short. If you would like to help me out and become a patron, I have links in the video description, along with links to a PayPal for donations, a Amazon wishlist link with really silly stuff like cat food on it, and of course I have a P.O. box where you can send me anything at all, and I'll open it all up on video if anyone ever sends anything. So thumbs up and front loading of videos over. Yay! Hopefully I didn't mess it up too badly. Oh, I am tired. Oh my gosh. I barely sleep, so sometimes that catches up with me. I mean, I'm lucky if I get 3 hours of sleep a night. And it's after midnight when I go to bed, and I wake up before 5 o'clock from discomfort, so yay. But at least I did sleep some, and that was good. I didn't get the stuff done that I normally do. I normally get all of my clothing ready for the next day because I don't want to have to do it the next morning. I didn't do any of that last night, so thumbs up. Yay. Little Ghost is... he still has this respiratory infection. I don't know that he'll ever clear up. He's labored breathing. He moves slowly. He's lethargic, but he drinks a lot. He's always wandering over and drinking. He still wanders around and he eats. He still chews on cardboard. He burrows. He does hamster stuff. He just spends a lot more time sleeping. And when he does move, it's slower. So I feel bad about that. But there's no vets in town and I have no vehicle to get a ride anywhere. So thumbs up on that. But if I check my list down here, one of the things I said, finally it's getting colder. But last night I still get coated in spider webs when I go out walking. I can see them. Even though I don't wear my glasses when I go out on walkies, I can see the glint of light off a spider web, and then usually it comes across between my eyelids and then across my eyeballs. That happens a lot. So I get dusty, dirty spider webs in my eyes. You know, you pull them out, that happens. It doesn't hurt, it's just, because it feels like you got a thread across your eye, because you do. I mean, if I get these spider webs across my face, my hair is coated with them all the time, they're just everywhere. And these aren't like I'm walking through a forest trail. No, I'm walking with a road over here, sidewalk here, fence posts here, and then the webs are just going whoo across this way into the road from the wind, and then fluff across my face or my hair. Or, still though, I mean, it's just somewhat annoying. Nothing else past that. Yay. One of the other things that I want to talk about is, back when I was younger, I used to play board games and war games because that's really all they had back then. They only picked up and started doing role-playing game stuff in like 1974, and I was born in 62, so I was already 14. 14? 12, something like that, in 74 when I first picked up the first D&D book. But also I did, like I say, the wargaming. There is a guy who does kind of self-publishing, sells these things on Amazon. If you go onto YouTube, he's Mike Lambo, and he does these solo wargaming books where you don't need another player to play the board game. It's effectively a board game in a box, except it's a book. So you can either cut out the counters that can come with it, or, as you don't need to do that, you can do dice or coins or anything you want. But the maps are printed on the pages, and the rules for how to do that specific scenario are right on the page, so you don't need to go flipping through the book. And it's right there, each scenario. The main rules for it in the front part where they tell you how to do a lot of the stuff, and then it goes on from there. It is a full war game in a box, in a book. And those are quite amazing, so I thought it was really cool, and I wanted to talk about that. Thumbs up. Very, very cool thing. Ow! God, my muscles, I love it when they cramp up like that. Ow. I did some recording yesterday, full hour of Notequest. Not the expanded world part, just Notequest, the basic part. I did some of the homebrew stuff. I did, you find out if there's a trap on a door, then you burn a torch to get rid of the trap. The original rules are, if you think there may be a trap on the door, you burn a torch, and then you roll to see if there was a trap, and if there was, then it's nothing. But there's only a 1 on a chance on a d6 of it being a trap, so you're wasting a lot of torches. You only have 10 torches. The game is deadly. It's incredibly deadly if you do not alter the rules, because if you have to fight 6 goblins, each of them doing 1 point of damage, and you can't kill them all because your damage can be anywhere from 0 to 6. In 3 turns, they're going to do 18 points of damage to you guaranteed. And then you're going to try and do some damage, and then you take another, 6. So it's like, bam, you take 6, you take 6, you take 6. I don't like that. So there's a roll to hit, and then they do the amount of damage. So I went from there, and it worked out. It's good, and thumbs up. So hopefully everyone will enjoy. But taking a look on here to see if there's anything else that's been happening. I had a lot of issues with staying awake yesterday, so not a lot happened. I just tried to be as creative as possible. When I went out on walkies, I tried to just stay awake and play video games, because that at least will help me stay awake. If I come up with slow parts during video games, I have fallen asleep while playing games. Just playing, like Doom or whatever, and then I'm wake up and go, oh my god. So that's always fun. Yay! So hopefully today I'm either going to get some rest or just take it easy, except I got some editing to do for the Notequest I did yesterday, and I need to record for tomorrow, so it's gonna be a busy day. Yay! I need form and structure for my otherwise formless and structureless life. Now, of course, I'm going to start talking about some of my creative cryptid stuff and hopefully being able to get this project all together. Both of them, Razor's Edge and the whole cryptid thing. So coming back up, I have a lot of stuff. I'm never going to be able to talk about it all in one point. I had mentioned yesterday how if you have your cryptid vision first pop in, you get weird feelings when all of the cryptids are talking about how you smell so good, their mouth is watering, you hear their bellies grumbling when you show up because just your scent is getting their bodies into their hunger eat mode. But you realize that it's not a threat, they're just blunt. And after a month, you don't even really notice it, but that after about 6 months, you do notice that stops and you feel kind of a rejection. I was thinking about that because you don't want to be eaten. I mean, some people may, but on the whole, you're not changed enough that you want to be eaten alive. No. that feeling of rejection that you're getting is you're cut off from your old world. Because if you're hanging out with cryptids like that, you can't hang out with human beings anymore. You are changed enough that human beings cannot really interact with you because of all of your extra universal parts to you. You can't interact with human beings anymore on any sort of meaningful way. Even other human beings with cryptid vision, when their sight has cleared and they've got their vision open, they're far and few between. Most people who do have their vision cleared have very, very minor abilities, so you're really cut off. The only people you can deal with are these very dangerous, very blunt, very feral types of beings. You get used to, they accept you, and they appreciate you and want you for who you are. Not for what you can do for them, but for who you are. I mean, what you are to them is like a good meal and a great feeling in their belly for a few hours, but they're honest about it. And that appreciation, that feeling of being wanted, even if it's just to fill their belly, is nice to have when you're trapped and alone from your old world. And so, yeah, you start to feel that appreciation is just a background thing. And then you stop thinking about it, so that when it goes away and you don't have that appreciation, you don't want to be eaten. It's just that appreciation has stopped. You're not getting that validation of who you are anymore. So yeah, you start to feel jealous. If a new person with cryptid vision shows up, you've been hanging around them for 6-7 months and their bellies don't grumble anymore and they're not popping teeth into their mouths when you show up, but suddenly you notice when somebody else arrives, well, everybody's bellies are rumbling again. And boy, does that feel like a rejection. And that feels really odd, of course, because again, you don't want to fill anyone's belly. But boy, it sure feels bad to be rejected. So there is humor in the setting, in that it's very dark, grim humor, but it's not all just dark and grim. But speaking of dark and grim, as I said, there is starting to, the skeleton of the cryptid setting on the project has started to come together. The whole thing with Lynn Tanner has really started to gel. Lynn Tanner is urban legend, wandering stranger, serial killer type of cryptid. You just get itchy feet, your boot heels need to go wandering, you go wandering, and when that itchy feeling stops, you go to work. He did that in a town of Castaway. 10,000 people there, directly 1,000 dead. Took a full month before reconstruction crews stopped finding horrors. 2 months after that is when the children, human and cryptid, discover all the Bouncing Betty landmine fields that Lynn Taylor set up. Lynn Taylor gets shot in the head because of people's outrage. The person that goes bang says, "Vengeance for Castaway." Things have been changing in the urban cryptid world, because before this, no one would have been shocked at even the severity of what happened there, because you accepted this stuff. You didn't want to, you were forced to as a cryptid, because you are not changed by anything but human fears, desires, wants, nightmares, our best and our worst. Now they are shocked. But before this, even someone like Lynn Tanner wouldn't have gone as full out as he did. I mean, it was horrific. As much as I like Lynn Tanner, it is a nightmare what he did to the people of Castaway. Directly 1,000 dead, and then many, many, many more children gone, chopped into fine meat salads when the bouncing Betties go off. When Lynn Taylor is shot in the head, he survives. But when he awakens and is able to get up and do stuff, which takes like slightly less than a week, Lynn Taylor is met by Big Mike, the king. Well, it's King Mike. He used to be just Mike, and then as he got older became Big Mike. And then when he went in and tamed the presence underneath Khmer Rouge Manor, he became King Mike. But King Mike is meeting with Lynn Tanner to tell him that he's got to go. He's got to leave. That this is too much. I mean, it was bad enough. People were having difficulty accepting what happened in Castaway. But almost 2 months had passed. It was hard for people to get past it, but people were. If nothing else, itchy. If nothing else had happened, largely that could have been gotten past. When the bouncing Betties started taking out the children and they had to abandon Castaway entirely, that was it. That was it. That stirred up so much. Lynn Tanner he's not going to be safe. And especially in Brookerton. No one's going to stop until he's gone. And he's become as well another liability. King Mike can't bear to use him in any sort of capacity anymore, because that would taint King Mike's authority for using such a horrific, nightmarish, hated individual in their administration. Their administration is himself and a bunch of priest acolytes to help keep the presence satiated and underneath the manor. I'll go back into that another day. So Lynn Tanner is told, you gotta move. As King Mike tells Lynn, you gotta leave South Carolina. It's not safe. As Big Mike, Lynn Tanner's friend, he's an old-time cryptid. He was shocked and horrified even so. I mean, he's over 300 years old. 125 of those have been as king of this nightmare kingdom. But even when Castaway was taken out the first time, that even shocked King Mike. And then when the kids got, chopped up into meat salad from the bouncing Betty landmines, that was too much even for King Mike. So it's even older cryptids like him are starting to be affected by these changes, and he's just. But as your friend, you need to go at least to the far west coast, and better would just be Europe. Just keep going east as long as you're recognized. So Lynn's got to go. And he does. And he tries to sneak out because he doesn't want to see anyone. But Jerry, with all of his extra universal sensory, meets him and forces him to talk. And Lynn, before he was shot for Castaway, had already started regretting, had already regretted eating the 25 cryptids that he has eaten over the past 30 years. He has been feeling crushed under the guilt and shame of just those 25 cryptids that he had eaten over the years. He's already regretting Castaway. Up until he had gotten shot, he would have defended what he had done. But he had already started to change. Afterward, what he feels is 1,000 times worse because what he did was thousands of times worse. So he's leaving, and he's quite sure that he's going to continue regretting each one of his killing sprees all the way back to the very, very first one that he's done. If he still walks on this earth in 10 or 20 years, he'll try and swing back to Brookerton to see if Jerry's still alive, but he just says, goodbye, Jerry. And you can see from just his body language and the way he says this is a man who's saying goodbye, knowing that the probability of him being alive in a full year is very, very small. And I've opened up 24 hours for the comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left in comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I got an American Sign Language, well, you've seen how my brain works. Or doesn't. Oh, itchy nose. Gotta love that. Anyway, though, let me call up my crone. We have Jesse Koskinen. Always good to see you in the comments, my friend. And I have loved the original Doom for so long, and I love the GZ Doom engine. Oh my gosh, I'm going to continue trying to find cool mods forever and ever and ever. Thumbs up, thank you much. Adrian FNTS for the algorithm. Thank you for the comment for the algorithm. I'm just sorry that I can't do anything much more interesting to get another comment. I need all the comments I can get. Thank you for that one. I'm just sorry I didn't do better. But thank you very much. Good to see you. Cake, greatly appreciated. Thumbs up. There is Chris. Thumbs up. Thank you very, very much. And I will continue to shed blood for the algorithm. Excuse me. Justin Lilbach. Thumbs up. Thank you very, very much. Flora Mew. Always good to see you in the comments. Greatly, greatly appreciated. RJ Mitchell. Thumbs up and thank you. Good to see you as well. Ben B, thumbs up. Thank you very, very much. Good to see you as well. We have WM, thumbs up and thank you. And that is it. 9 people. Excuse me. 9 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Greatly appreciate it. Get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, if only for a short time, and if only in text. I can speak English. Thumbs up and thank you. And of course, thank you so much if you've watched this far into the video. It is appreciated. Nobody's forcing you to watch these things, and the fact that you do is appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up. And of course, I'm just going to try and take it easy until I have to start editing, and then until I start recording. And then afterward, you know, I'm going to play video games and then go on walkies, and then I'm going to relax and go to bed. Hopefully you're going to have a good day today. Yay! That would be a very good thing. And of course, with all of the diseases out there, please take appropriate care for your situation and your location. And be as careful as possible when crossing the street or when alone in any capacity. If you hear that mournful bus horn and you hear that running engine and you see your name on the front of that bus, you're going to get smeared over the landscape. And it ain't gonna be pretty. But if that doesn't happen, thumbs up and you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.